up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonia Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going.
All right, then. Woo!
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
And today, make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you guys go to our website, you can find the podcast there. You can listen to it there. You can find our social media. You can watch the podcast. You can find ways to support the show. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on during the show.
Yes. So this is our third retake, and we're going to try to make it through this time around. Right, babe?
Yep.
Yes. So it's been a shit show.
Yeah,
today,
all the way around.
All the way around. No, it hasn't. It was a good day today.
It's been a great day.
Yes. A busy day, but a good day. So our Adriana joined a club team. So we've been up since before 6 a.m. And normally we have Saturday and Sunday to ourselves doing something, right? Some kind of family day, something. During the week, we wake up every day between 5 and 5:30. It's just nonstop. And
it's just regular work shit, kids,
so
sports
it's
shit.
just rolling into the Saturdays, rolling into our Sundays, and
then
here
right back
we
to work
are.
on Monday.
But when you want to be a present parent, a good parent, you put your life on hold for the kids, right?
Yep.
Anyway.
And you're out there at fucking 6 a.m.
in the Arizona sun. Now, we're just letting all this out because we have a lot of energy that needs to be just let the fuck out right now, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was a good day. I mean, we got to see the difference between, a club team versus her
junior high team.
And it was a great experience. And to see, how it actually is supposed to come together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, no, let's be real.
She's had some shitty luck though.
Poor girl.
Our daughter Audrey has had some shitty luck.
Let's talk about that.
Her
seventh grade,
her first softball season, her first year in junior high, they weren't even going to have a softball season.
Yeah. They couldn't find a coach.
They couldn't find a coach to coach the girls.
Right.
So they weren't going to have a softball team for the 7th graders.
Right.
But then they found a coach that was like, okay, I'll do it at the last minute.
Right.
Right. And she was great. I mean, she was no.
Good.
Wait, hold on.
You said great.
I didn't say.
You said great.
I said she was great. What I meant to say, she is great. I meant she's great for stepping up.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Maybe not so much as a coach, but it was great that she stepped up because if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have had a season at all.
Right.
And if it wasn't for her and the shitty season that they had, our daughter wouldn't have got the passion that she did for softball.
Right.
So even as shitty of a coach as she had in her first season.
She wasn't shitty.
No, not shitty.
She at least played the game.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That's so fucking bad.
She played the game. Yeah.
That is so bad. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. As shitty of a season as she had for her first season, because they lost like every game almost.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, but still, she found the passion.
Right.
For the sport that she wants to play.
Yes,
and now you can see it in her that she wants this.
Yes.
Right?
And let me say this.
I didn't mean to say it that way.
It took such a long time for her to find something, right? Because she played soccer. We were her coaches. Maybe that's why she didn't like soccer. Maybe. And then she went from soccer to basketball. And then she was taking on wrestling, right?
Yeah.
She's been in jiu-jitsu for quite some time. She's competed, won a gold medal. Then she decided to try on wrestling, which we both were very surprised about that, but we were excited about it at the same time because if this girl gets wrestling under her belt on top of jiu-jitsu, she's going to be kicking some ass, right? So we were excited about that. And then she was introduced to softball by the neighbor and she ended up liking it and decided to take on 7th grade. Didn't have a very good okay experience, but she found out that she loved
caught
the game.
The bug. She caught the bug.
Yep. And then when she caught the bug, we started to see the love that she had for it. So we decided, you know what? We may want to invest into this for her because we recognized the drive, the hunger, the passion, right? So then we decided to invest, and we sent her off to New York to Miguel's cousin, who did an amazing. We knew she
Max
was,
effort
dude,
baseball
for reals. Like we
up.
just knew that if this truly is the sport for her, that she was gonna come back with confidence,
fire,
knowledge. Exactly.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened when she came back. And that's when we made the decision to buy the expensive bat, to buy the expensive glove, right?
Yeah. Because it's going to last.
Yeah. And we were so excited for 8th grade because they had a kick-ass coach for the 8th graders. So we were like, she was so excited. All the girls were so excited. And then all of a sudden, the coach that was supposed to be coaching had a health situation and had to step back. And we ended up getting another coach who's a great cheerleader,
which was
but
pretty
doesn't
much
know the rules and stepped up to be the one.
It was pretty much the same thing as last year.
Yes.
Same thing as last year. This guy stepped up at the last minute, and if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be having a season.
Right.
And she's in the same boat. And it's like, dude, what fucking luck.
Right.
But.
Yep. But.
At this point.
We found a club team.
Yeah.
And now she is where she's supposed to be, I feel.
Well, and
like
it's
she's
also,
getting the training.
And it's also kind of cool because when you've had the luck that she has, it's hard to see what softball's actually supposed to look like.
Right.
You know, because every play is just a struggle to get it over the plate.
Right.
Or anytime you throw the ball to anybody, it's a struggle just to get it to the base. And people are stealing constantly because they don't catch the ball or whatever happens. But when you're playing on a club team where they're practicing drills and it's like boom, 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 one after another, boom, boom, boom. This is what we do. When this happens, boom, 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 like one after the next. Like they're practicing drills and plays and like you guys know, like a team.
Yep.
And then when you show up to the club team and you show up to the tournaments, like you start seeing double plays.
Right.
And you start seeing the way the game is actually supposed to be played.
Right.
And it's a lot more exciting.
It is, especially to be there and like to watch it as a parent. And all the parents, like we're walking around and we freaking umbrella. We got our umbrella. We got a little ice chest that only fits Audrey's snack.
We got like a baby ice chest, the world's smallest. Our shit's already melted by the time we get there.
A backpack with some water, whatever. Dude, we took sunblock. Hey, we did good today. If someone needed sunblock, we had the damn sunblock.
Dude, we're carrying shit. I got shit hanging off of my pinkies. We're fucking walking out to the middle. And then you got families walking by. They got the fucking carts with the wagons with lights on them. They got music playing. They got misters.
Tents.
They got fans with misters and shit spraying on people. It's like, they got the fucking music. And it's like, dude, we don't know what the hell.
I'm like, we got to take some notes.
For real.
And we did, right? But our team, they're just awesome, man. Like they had the tents and they're like, hey, would you like, to come in with us? We're like, heck yes. Cause if not, it would have been really bad without the tent, right? Yeah. Because it was hot. That sun was like just beaming today. But it was really good. They won their first game. They tied their second. They lost their third. We're going in tomorrow.
Going back
early in the morning to finish the rest of it and see where they go. But she was really excited about it, and I'm excited for her because she found something that she loved. And that's something, when I was younger, I didn't have the opportunity. I just didn't, because of where we were.
Right.
And just, my mom was too busy trying to keep food on the table that wasn't important.
Yeah. I remember I think I talked to Audrey about it like a couple days ago, but and I think, well, you were talking about it too. Like as kids, the amount of games that our parents would show up for.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I remember as a kid when I played football, like my mom, I didn't live with my mom. So I remember my mom showing up to a few games. And then once I moved with her, you know, then it was different. My mom and my grandfather were showing up to the games. And then even as an adult, like I played football as an adult, my mom would come to the game. But as a kid, I don't remember like hardly anybody. Every once in a while, my mom would come to the games when she could. Yeah. But it was usually just like me playing.
Yeah.
You know?
I was in choir and volleyball. I don't remember my mom attending any of them, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah. You know?
But now it's like we have to kind of make time and go to the games and go to the tournaments and all the other stuff.
It's a commitment. I was talking to the moms today, you know, to get the feel because we're new. So I just said we've never been in a club team. This is the first club team, you know, and just getting information, talking to them, getting to know them.
So
because it's like a family. That's what I hear. Yeah. When you join a club team, it's like a family. So I was talking to one of the moms about her and I getting together. Ooh, what is her name? I already forgot her name. But we were talking about getting the girls together and either having a swimming party or doing something to get the girls together, kind of like what I did with her team last year. And it really did help the team
bond.
Right, because you want them to get to know each other outside of the games, outside of practice.
So one thing that happened with Audrey and her last couple school teams is that, like we said, like her coaches, they were kind of like last minute coaches that if they didn't coach, they wouldn't even have a team. You know, so they're obviously like rookie coaches. They haven't coached before. They're kind of getting into the swing of things. The girls aren't used to them. They're not used to the girls. And the girls, like they don't have the control over a team that an experienced coach would have. You know, like when an experienced coach shows up, it's like, hey, let's get together, line up, circle up. This is what we're doing. You guys go over there. You guys go over there. Let's go. Ready, break, go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if you start to see that there's groups forming within the team, it's like, hey, cut the shit because we all need to work together to achieve our goals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But when you have a new coach, they probably don't notice that or they don't see that or they just don't have the experience.
Right.
So with her junior high school team, there were some cliques that were forming.
Right.
And stuff like that. And it's kind of cool that she's getting to see the difference between a club team where they actually are competing and they're trying to achieve like tournament championships and a school team that's just getting started with a coach that doesn't have as much experience.
Right.
You know, because on this other team, and it's different because we pay monthly, you know, so the girls are a little bit more focused. They're more into it. They're more passionate about it. But there isn't that clique mentality. It's like we all need to work. We all need to get better. We all want to help each other get better.
Right. You know, I'm glad that we made the decision to invest into the club team because she is seeing how the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah.
And I think that is huge in life. Like getting them started at this at a young age, because when you get out in the field, whether you're a business owner or whether, you know, you're working for a company, in order to succeed, everyone has to work together.
Yeah.
Everybody has to do their part, play their part, whatever. And I never learned that because I wasn't, you know, I was in volleyball for a bit. I was in choir, but that's different. It's different.
Yeah.
But I never got to experience that in itself until I joined Legal Shield.
Yeah.
And I started learning about leadership. I started learning, you know, like how to work as a team, how to build a team, all of that, you know, and, you know, with Joey, he's played some softball. He's been in jiu-jitsu and focused more on jiu-jitsu these days because you guys signed up for a competition. And even though it's like an individual sport, right?
Yeah. Yeah, jiu-jitsu
you still have a team though behind, like,
yeah,
the jiu-jitsu Carlos Ferris jiu-jitsu
school
Academy,
yeah.
is a team in
That is our team. Right.
But when you go to compete, it's you're
on the mat by yourself.
Right. But your team is there supporting you. It's just different. It's a different.
It is different.
It's a different kind of.
It's a different feeling. It really is different because in one way, I don't know if team sports would have it. No, they do have like the pride and like, this is my team.
Oh yeah.
This is my team, you know? Team sports do have that. But as far, maybe it's martial arts are different. I don't know if it's martial arts, but it is also like an honor of where you learn your skills.
Who you're representing. Yes. There you go.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because you are out there by yourself.
Right.
And you don't want to embarrass kind of like your team. Like, you're by yourself, but you still have a team.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like, who's been coaching you? Like, who have you been going to
look
training?
Look at this fucking dude. He got crushed.
All over the place. Shut up.
You know what I mean? He got fucking pancaked. Look at him. Look at that patch. So where's he from? You know what I mean? So you don't want to fucking make an ass of yourself when you're out there. So, I mean, but like, joking around. Yeah, but it is like almost like an honor thing. Like, this is my school. This is where I train. I don't want to embarrass what we do. What we do, really. Like, jiu-jitsu, I don't know, man. You kind of get philosophical about this shit, but there is a lot of honor in it. You know, I don't know, fighting. It's a primal thing. I don't know. I've kind of explained it to you. It's hard to explain, but yeah.
So, in the previous podcast, you mentioned that you and Joey are in a competition, and you just received your second stripe of your blue belt. Congratulations!
Thanks, babe. Yeah, so that's something that I was not expecting, and yeah, it happened yesterday, and I've just kind of, I don't know, been the last couple, like, maybe not the last couple of years, but like the last year, I felt like I've just been into it. And you know what? More than anything, I've kind of felt like anybody that's ever done any kind of hobby or something that you get into, right? There's always something that feels like there's that. It's like where you feel like you've done something in whatever that is, right? If you're swimming or fucking, I don't know, golf, like, there's a certain score that you get to, and it's like, hey, when I get to that, it's like, hey, I'm actually doing something, right?
Right.
And for jiu-jitsu, that's a blue belt. Most people will start jiu-jitsu and fucking quit, right? And never do it again. But everybody says that when you get to your blue belt, like, most people will never even make it to that level, right? But then the joke for people that are within jiu-jitsu are like, when you get to your blue belt, that's when you quit. Because now that's the moment when you feel like you've done something, and that's enough, you know? And I think I got that. I got to that point. It was almost immediate, probably. Like, I got to my blue belt, and at that point I was like, here I am. And it was never really like a arrogant type of thing, but it was just like, maybe for myself, like an accomplishment. Like, okay, I got to the blue belt level. I'm good. And then you don't do the things that it took to get you there. That the things that you were doing when you were working on getting to that level. You start taking it easy.
That's kind of with everything, though.
It is.
You lose weight, you get to where you want to be. You're
is.
lifting, you're doing everything. You get the muscle mass, and then all of a sudden you stop doing what you're, what works. It's just it's just
life.
Having that self-discipline to just continue doing it. It's making it a lifestyle change. That's what it is. It's just you got to make it part of your life, but you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. You have to figure out what is sustainable for you. That's it. Yeah. Because if you go hardcore every day to jiu-jitsu, you're not going to continue doing it.
Well, this is the thing is that, at least for me, where most people would normally, they get the blue belt and quit, I was fucking barely hanging on. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Because there would be like a month where I would train a day or two. Mm-hmm. And then the next month would come around and I would train a day or two. And I would tell you, and you would be like, well, you've been traveling a lot and you've been doing this and that. And it's like, yeah, but that's bullshit. Like, if I really wanted to, I could have been in the gym more. I could have been still training and still working on stuff. Yeah. Because what?
Yeah.
Are you saying yeah, like no, or yeah, like yeah? What I'm
saying is this, okay?
Because you're about to make excuses for me where I'm not going to make excuses for myself.
Exactly, because you are that way. My thing is that we have 2 children, right? Sports, school, our own shit that we have going on, our own shit that we're going through.
We got a podcast that we record every week. The podcast,
the clips, the social media posting. Yes, you have a job.
Very busy
and
people.
You work full time. Right. It's just so to go to jiu-jitsu 2 days a week is not bad. 3 days a week, that's not bad.
I was going twice a month.
Oh, well, what the fuck's wrong with you then? No.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just get comfortable. It's just like
you feel like you've done something. You get to a point where it's like, all right, I've made it to a little something.
Yeah.
But this is the thing is that when there is no standing still. You know what I mean? The moment that I reached that blue belt, that was my peak at that moment. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I felt like I had done something, that's where I started falling back. Mm. Because the focus wasn't the same.
Right.
The intensity wasn't the same. The scrap when I fucking got into it wasn't the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because of all of those things, your progression's not the same. Actually, your progression's not happening. Because I can tell you that there was things that I was doing before that I'm not doing today. Because I didn't keep the same focus that I had back then.
And you came to this conclusion because of your awareness. You understand that?
Yeah.
Like once you started, because you can lie to other people.
Right.
You can't lie to yourself. Right? Because then it starts to eat at you. You know when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know that. And after, take a day or two off. That's fine, right? But when you start to realize, like, damn, it's been a few weeks. Like your inner self, yourself, right, knows and will tell you and will start to make you feel so uncomfortable, and that's when you start doing something about it. When that inner voice is talking to you and telling you, hey, fuck up.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're sliding back. What's up? Like that inner voice will always keep you on your path. Once you start to hear it, listen to it, and it starts to move you.
And I don't know if it's like for everybody else, or maybe you guys need to find something that can give you a fucking kick in the ass sometimes. Because for me, maybe that's what jiu-jitsu helps me with. It's just every once in a while you need a fucking kick in the ass to get back on track and like get on the grind. And I don't know if it was this podcast or the last 3 podcasts that we tried to fucking record before this one, but like when you are getting on a path with anything, it affects everything. It doesn't, like, you could want to be the fucking best badminton fucking player. You know what I mean? With the little bird with the fucking little tiny little rackets. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but go on.
That stupid little sport with the little birdie. It's got the little red ball with the net and you fucking smack it.
No, go on.
Anyway, people get into all kinds of crazy shit. But
And you know about it.
I do. Badminton?
Anyways.
You don't know what badminton is? That's not on me. That's on you.
Whatever.
I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to show you.
No, we don't have time for that shit.
But
Go
what I'm saying is that anytime that you focus on any one thing that you want to get really good at, there's no way that bleeds into everything else in your life.
Well, yeah. I mean, since I started coaching, right?
Yeah.
Started working on myself.
You tell me you don't know what the fuck badminton is?
We have, okay.
You know, that's not even a real sport.
We have.
But what I'm saying is like people could get like super into that, right? Like this is something that people fuck around with drunk at a pool party, right?
Yeah.
But there are some people that this is the shit that they're devoted to. Whatever it happens to be, if you find that thing and you want to get good at it, once you start figuring out how you're gonna progress and devote yourself to that passion, it starts to bleed into everything else because everything else in your life is to get better, like all the way around. Do you know what I mean? Your health, your everything.
Yeah. Well, that's, just like I said, once I started my the coaching, it bled into me working out, pushing past the pain, being more present,
How has it been different? Like, how have because what do you think in your coaching that you've done? Like, how has that changed your mentality when you go to the gym? Because why wouldn't you push before where you push now?
I mean, I did push before.
You've always trained hard.
But it's just different because now I'm not thinking about what I'm going to cook for dinner when I'm working out. I'm not thinking about the work that I need to do. I'm not thinking about having to make lunch for the kids. When I am at the gym, I am so present with my body. I'm present with the muscles that I'm working. I am mentally connected to my muscles.
But before where...
And when I feel a certain, like when I get to a certain point to where I'm feeling uncomfortable, I know now that it's just a sensation that I'm feeling. If I push past that, I'm not going to die. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's pushing through the pain. You know what it's like? It's like when I was giving birth. When I was giving birth, it was a form of meditation because I had 2 natural births, both home births. Okay. And I had to mentally focus on what I was doing. And I had to get in such a deep state of meditation, knowing that my body was made to do this. Yeah. So when I'm working out, I know that you're not going to die, Sonja. You felt worse pain than this. And it's just a sensation.
You can keep pushing.
Yeah, exactly. And when I get to that point where I feel like quitting, it's like, push through it, Sonja. Push through it. Connect to it. Push through it. You got this.
Yeah.
So it's more of just knowing the power within and what my body is capable of doing. And when I start to feel pain, what do? When we were running,
you'd be laughing.
I close my eyes.
You wouldn't want me to talk to you.
I focus. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when I'm doing burpees.
You told me to shut up.
Or I'm doing something and I'm pushing myself. I close my eyes and I
you want to
zone in.
You want to focus.
Yes.
You don't want no motivation.
No.
You don't want no nut. You like shut up.
Shut up and let me work through this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we would be running together and I'd be like, come on, babe. You could do it. You're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Like, shut up. because I don't know. It's like I know how to coach myself.
Yeah.
And I know how to get through this. Like when
come on, babe. One foot in front of the other. You're like, shut the fuck up.
When I was giving birth.
Yeah.
I just said, hold me.
Just hold me.
Breathe with me. Just hold me. Don't talk. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You got to know yourself. You got to know, what it is that you need in order to get through it.
Yeah.
But with the coaching, it's recognizing your thought patterns, the way you talk to yourself, because we think so much, the thoughts that run through our heads, and a lot of times, when you come up with certain patterns, certain things that you're telling yourself, when you recognize those patterns, you could, for me, I was able to trace those patterns back to things that were told, things that were said when I was a little girl.
Yeah. Was this because of like you writing down
thoughts that
and
that's what
having?
He has me doing right now. Yeah. Like, just unuseful thoughts.
Okay.
We can get into that. That it's just a whole, These are the things I'm going to be teaching my clients when I start my coaching program.
But it's just the thoughts that come into your head that you have that don't serve you.
Right. And certain patterns will start to show up.
Like what? What do you think?
For instance, with me, it was, you're not smart enough. It's the lack of belief that I had in myself, especially when it comes to feeling that I deserve success or believing in myself that I can make certain accomplishments. It's the lack of belief that I had in myself.
Okay.
And I noticed that started coming up multiple times, and certain things were triggers. Like the other day, you and I were talking, and there was something that I said, and you came at me and you told me that I need to pay more attention to the way I speak, because the way I'm speaking has to do with conditioning. We were talking about religion, spirituality.
Right.
And I did not hear what the hell you. All I heard you say is that I didn't know what the hell I was saying.
That's not what I said.
But that's the way I took
but that's
it.
the way you took it.
Do you understand? But that's where the disconnect comes from.
Right.
In relationships. That's why so many fights happen. So many, because it's like the other person has some unresolved shit that they have not processed, even stuff that they're unaware of.
And it's shit that's been embedded.
Right. And you are unaware of these things.
Right. Yeah.
But
little by little, kind of like you're doing and we're doing, like it's just, you work it out.
Right.
If you think enough, if you try to figure it out.
Right.
And
I'm so thankful, that because it was an investment that we both had to agree on in order to move forward with this coaching. But I knew that I had to do it because I knew that there were blocks. In order for me to get to the next level of my career, this journey of coaching, I knew that there were things within that I had to release in order to get to that next level. And that's being just aware of what I was feeling within, because I felt that there was something blocking me.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was something that I needed to learn in order to get to the next level. And even though I was self-healing and self-processing, I couldn't pinpoint these issues. And I knew that I had to hire a coach.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that I did, because he has helped me in our relationship and our marriage, right? Just all the way around.
Yeah.
Letting go of beliefs that I made when I was a little girl that was affecting me personally in our relationship. It was affecting me as a parent. It was affecting me as a daughter, as a friend.
Yeah. And this is like conditioning, kind of things that you've been conditioned to think, that you've been conditioned to believe,
I was told
over the years, that.
And conditioning is just trained, right?
Like that's you're just been trained.
Conditioning is a soft word,
and that's something that I want to talk about, because a lot of times people don't even realize that's the craziest thing. That's the hardest thing, is realizing your conditioning. But before we get into that, make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you guys go to our website, you can watch the podcast there. You can listen to it there. You can find all of our social media there. And you can find ways to support the show. If you click on the support the show tab, you'll see links to you'll see our Amazon link. And when you click on that, you can, anything that you purchase, when you click on that link, doesn't cost you anything extra. But when you check out, it helps out the show, and we get a little kickback. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but we'll get helped out with that. And you'll also be able to find our merch. You'll find T-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases. If you just search Opposites Attract Podcast, phone case, T-shirt, it'll pop up. And also, when you click on the Support the Show tab, you'll see a link for Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary and signing agency. So if you're in the process of selling, refinancing, or purchasing a home, you can request Trust Inc. to be your signing agency.
Yep. And you can go to Trust Inc. directly by going to trustinkusa.com. And we're also affiliates with Pinwheel, which is the best smartphone available for kids. It has GPS tracking. It has text message logs, call logs. All the contacts have to be approved by the parents before they get into the phone. All the apps have to be installed by the parents before they get into the phone. So that way you know exactly what your kids are into, what they're using. And the Pinwheel company doesn't have any apps that are addictive to kids. Like all the apps that we're aware of, like Fortnite and all the games and all the social media with the likes and the notifications and the things that keep the kids hooked to the phone, wanting that feedback, you know? The Pinwheel has apps that make kids more productive. It has sports app. Actually, we were talking about the tournaments today, and one of the apps that they had on the phone was the tournament, like, Game Changers app. So she can follow along and see what the pitches, the balls, the strikes, the outs, what inning they're in, their stats, and all that stuff. It's all available on the Pinwheel phone, but it doesn't give them access to all the stuff that's bad for kids today. Right. And all the creeps that are out there. It keeps them safe from all that stuff. Right. So if you guys want to know more and you want to learn about Pinwheel, and it's also a great phone that grows with the kids, because you can put kids' apps on there when they're young, and then you can change the apps out as they get older and have apps that are more appropriate for teenagers.
Yes, yes.
So if you guys want to learn more about Pinwheel, you can go to pinwheel.com and use promo code OAPTEN all together, all in caps, and that'll get you 10% off of a Pinwheel phone.
Yes, yes. And if you would like to buy us a coffee or a drink, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod.
There you go. So, is that it? I think we're
yes, phone number. Let's leave our phone number out.
Yeah, let's leave our phone number out there.
I actually think we have
we do.
a recording or something
do have
on
a recording.
That. But before we go there,
here, let's give out the phone number real quick.
Yep.
So if you guys would like to give us a call and send us a message, let us know how we're doing on the podcast. If there's something that you guys want us to talk about, you guys want to send us a question, you can call us at 480-331-9846.
Yes, yes.
So before we move on, let me see if I can find this real quick. Here we go. So last week we had a voicemail from one of our listeners, and we'll get into that now. Because last week we had a pretty intimate podcast. We got into some intimate subjects about, us working through our relationship and some infidelities and all that kind of stuff. And I know that's something that a lot of you, it resonated with a lot of our listeners. And we got a message about it. So we'll get into that right now. Is there anything that you want to say?
No, go ahead. I'll follow up.
My bad. I'm actually not ready for that right now.
Do you want me to speak?
You can if you would like to. Or we could get into that.
Go ahead.
All right. Here we go.
Oh my God. Your guys' podcast was so good. I mean, it just hit home this morning. I was getting ready for work, listening to your podcast. And oh my God, I had to stop, redo my makeup because I was crying. I mean, it just hit home. And I so much relate to you guys, what you guys went through. And I'm so glad that you guys are rebuilding and you guys are good and recovering from all this. So good job. I love hearing your guys' podcast, and today was just like, wow. Sonja, I love you, girl. And yep. All right, well, God bless you guys, and cheers to a long life together. So cheers.
That's right.
We gotta have to drink. So, bye.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for the message. We really appreciate it. And you know, one thing that I really appreciate about the messages and the comments on Facebook, even though we're not the greatest at responding to the comments, and like, we do see them, and after everything that we've done, the years that we've been podcasting, it is cool to see that somebody's listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we're not just putting it out there. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. And everybody that's listening.
So, just to be, we're always honest. We are. As you guys know, this podcast is as real as it gets. And it's very difficult at times. Today was very challenging. We had a great day. It looks like I have some sex head right now. I know. We went to a party, a pool party, and we were having such a good time. Had some drinks.
I'm still wearing my shorts from the pool party.
And all this good stuff. We were in the pool. I didn't even have time to take a shower, man. So, it is what it is. I threw some clothes on, threw some makeup on top of that chlorine. My hair be looking crazy, but I'm like, hey, it's all good. Like, we got to do what we got to do. And feeling good, right? We had a few drinks, and then I was like, damn, this podcast, we promised our listeners that we were going to talk about forgiveness and, just give you guys some tips on how we're moving forward. And it was a struggle. This is our third time recording this podcast this evening because it was a struggle, because we're feeling good, and it's not something that we wanted to go back and talk about today because of how we're feeling, and it is difficult to throw it out there and to revisit it.
Not just that it's difficult, but we're fucking busy people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we talk a lot of shit. Like, every podcast. How does every podcast start? Another busy week,
right?
But it really fucking is another busy fucking week. Every week is like non-fucking stop from the time we wake up till the time we go to sleep. Do you know what I mean? It is another busy week. So when we have a podcast like we did last week, and you have a fucking super busy week, like we talked about, we had a full day of tournament softball. The girl, Audrey, the girl, she's out there. The girl is training. The boy is training. We're busy.
Right.
So when you have a podcast like we did last week, and you have an entirely full week the way we've had,
you're emotionally drained.
Like, when was the last
drained.
time? Look, when was the last time that we had a chance to like really sit down and fucking talk? Besides right now.
Yeah. No, it's been tough.
You know what I mean? So when you have a busy week like that, it's not so easy to like just sit down and like, we're trying to get stuff done between the two of us.
Right.
But a lot of times it's separately so that we can, conquer together.
And with what, we just went through, as you all know, it's very emotionally draining. It really is. And it is a lot of work. And
a lot of
you guys are going to witness our trust as we move forward, just our relationship.
And one of the differences is that a lot of times we're talking about stuff that's gone on in the past. Mm-hmm. And this is something that we're working through in the moment.
Right.
Which is not the same.
Right. But, like you said, we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you guys watching and sharing our podcast. You know, the reason why we do this is because we know that it's going to help. It's going to help by us sharing our shit.
Right. Yeah.
Going, it's like a reality show.
Pretty
It's like
much.
a reality. It's a podcast. It's a reality
podcast.
And exactly what you said. We record this, and it's every week, no matter what, rain or shine, right?
Yeah.
Rain or
No matter what.
No matter what. No matter what. It doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter how we're feeling. Doesn't matter what we're going through.
This is episode 200, in case you didn't know.
Right. Like, we do what we got to do. Like,
Every
we're committed to you
200
guys.
episodes
we're
straight.
committed to you guys. And it is so great when we hear from you guys.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Because sometimes it's like you feel like no one's listening. You feel like no one's watching. Because no one's really reviewing, no one's rating, no one's commenting.
Are you sending hints right now?
Even though you guys are listening. No, this is real shit. Because when we dropped that last podcast,
Yeah, true.
we got so many of you guys reaching out to us. We got comments. Love you guys.
Yeah.
God redeems.
Appreciate
Love
it.
your podcast.
Thank you.
Keep it up, guys. I love you so much. I'm so happy for you. You are a great wife, and Miguel, you are a wonderful husband, and you guys are my favorite people. I love you guys so much. I think everyone's been through a rough childhood. And we've gotten like just so many messages from you guys, and it does feel good to know that even though we struggle at times on these podcasts, that it's being appreciated and that it is being listened to, and this week we were going to talk about forgiveness and trust. And it's been very difficult, as you said, because it's been so busy, and then to finally sit and talk and then have to revisit.
We haven't talked about forgiveness and trust all week.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah.
We haven't had time to sit down and me and you talk about what the hell we're going to talk about.
Right. Right. And so, we are going to, well, I can talk about some things,
right?
Because I've been, with forgiveness, and we could get more into it, but you guys are walking with us through this process. I mean, It's not like, even though the fidelity happened 10 years ago, it was just revealed.
Right.
A week ago.
A few weeks ago. Or
Was it a few weeks ago?
Something like that.
And so you guys are going to witness
the transformation.
The transformation of, and the rebuilding.
Caterpillar.
You know what, though? It's weird how it happened, though. Not how it happened, but how it was revealed, because it's not something that was present. It was so long ago, and we had mentioned this, and we've been working on ourselves for such a long time, in our relationship for such a long time, that even though the trust was broken way back then, and we just became aware of it now, I trust you. But there are, just like the other day, an unuseful thought creeped up.
Yeah. And
questions started to come up. And I'm having this inner dialogue with myself. I'm telling you, if you guys, we would all be sent
to the loony bin.
If we could hear each other's thoughts. Like, I'm having a conversation in my head with myself, back and forth, back and forth. And the thought was starting to come up, like, was it someone at work? Was it this? Was it that? And I'm asking myself, Sonia, does it really matter? Like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What is knowing this? Is it going to help you move forward, or is it going to take you backwards? And sometimes the thoughts get the best of you, but working on my coaching I had asked you, right? Because at first I wasn't going to, because I don't, it's like, is it going to help you or is it going to hurt you?
Well, yeah.
Right? Is it going to help you or is it going to hurt you? And I'm having this dialogue inside. And all of a sudden I feel more thoughts creeping in and I shut them down quick because I started paying attention to my emotions and I started to get sick to my stomach because I noticed the second thought coming in and I shut that second thought down. And I'm like, this is not helping me. This is hurting me. We're moving forward. We're not moving backwards. This man loves you and you know he loves you and you know he's in love with you. So it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to be strong enough. I had to be aware enough to recognize my thoughts and my emotions.
Yeah.
Because if I would allow those thoughts to continue coming in, because when the one thought comes in, if you're not aware of your thoughts, a second thought's going to come in, a third thought's going to come in, a fourth thought's going to come in, and all of a sudden you're going to act. Your emotions are going to start boiling and you're going to act and you're going to say something or do something that you really didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Because your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions create your results. And that's what I've learned. And a lot of times the thoughts that come in, they're only thoughts. And that's what I've learned, a negative versus a positive thought. They're both a thought. They both create emotions within. And a lot of times the thought's not even the reality.
Yeah.
Like what if? What if he's doing this? What if he's doing that? What if? What if? Yeah. And I'm going to recommend a book to any of you that are having a tough time in your relationship. And it's called The Presence of Now.
The Power
of Now. The Power of Now by Ed Cartoli. This book is going to help you to recognize your thought patterns. It's going to help you start to take control of your thoughts. Because once you start to take control of your thoughts, then you can take control of your emotions. And once you start taking control of your emotions, then you can start taking control of your actions.
No.
And then you'll see your results. And that's what I have learned. It's to start to be very curious, start to question these thoughts. Start to look at your thought patterns.
Yeah.
And you start taking control of what is happening. You are not your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've had, does that have to do, I'm guessing, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, but your conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that is it's kind of like pre-programmed thoughts.
Yes.
Isn't it?
It is. It is. Because I remember just being around a lot of women that would talk very negative about men. And it's crazy because I was young, so you wouldn't think that those conversations would seep in, but those seeds were planted.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like your your subconscious, it's like keeps track of. It's just like when you are watching social media, listening to everything that they're saying, and you're thinking that you just have the TV on in the background while you're cooking, and there you're cleaning, and then
you're gonna filter it out.
Yes.
I'm smart enough to know
that it's not going to affect you.
And then before you know it, you sound like the fucking people in the videos and in the fucking...
No, seriously.
Right.
But when you think about all the conditioning that we've been through, money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah.
I mean, just all the little things that we've been taught that have been said, whether it's from your parents, your grandparents, your school, your church.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like we've been trained to think
a certain way.
Not for ourselves.
Right.
Not for ourselves. We all know the truth. It is hidden so deep within. A lot of times, when you become more conscious, you become more aware, you start to know who you truly are.
Yeah.
What is it that you want in life? What, when a thought comes to, is that coming from me or did I learn this?
Was there something, do you remember something that made you start questioning things? Was there something that you, or like a point in your life that you started realizing, like, you know what, things may not be what they seem, or things may not be the way I've been taught.
Yeah.
Or how I've known them to be.
When it came to men, trusting men, and it was a lot. All my lessons were with
Why
you.
You gotta make it so romantic all the time.
Because I'm digging deep. I don't just say shit to say it.
All right.
I take myself to the,
That's why people love you, babe. That's why everybody loves listening to you.
But I remember when, and this is the day I realized that it was okay to love you. Like, this is the day I realized.
But this was different than what you had thought previously.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I said this on the podcast before. It was when we were together already, but we were going through We were going through challenges, and it's, after my sister passed.
Right. Yeah.
And we found out that my nephews hadn't eaten for 2 weeks, and you were like, let's go get
we
them.
had to make a decision on like we had just found this out, and one of our options that we could is like, let's go get them.
Right.
Right.
But it wasn't just go get them. We had to call the sheriff. We got to call CPS.
We were going to pick up teenagers to bring into our house to live with us.
Right. And I mean, we were both very young.
Right. Yeah.
And we just had Audrey. Audrey was a little toddler.
And that is what made you think that maybe things weren't exactly as you thought they were in the past?
I think I could trust this man. I think I could actually allow myself to love this man.
Was like, you can't trust men.
Right. Right.
That's crazy.
All he's going to do is hurt me. All he's going to do is cheat on me. All he's going to do is,
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yep. And that's the day when I realized that you were worthy. No, for reals. I'm taking you
serious?
I'm taking you back to where I was and who I was.
You're worthy.
You are worthy of me, dude. Because I was that female back then.
Yeah. You fucking
right?
were. Yeah.
I was.
You were.
I was the bad bitch. You're not going to tell me what to do.
But I'm saying, okay. Yeah. No, I could see that when it comes to men.
Like,
yes.
it's funny because you helped soften me.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and then I help soften. Tell me this isn't true.
Well, yes, true.
No,
this is 100% true. For real.
You helped soften me. You helped me at the beginning, and then
you helped soften me up.
And then
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But I've never seen it that.
But I'm
I've
not
never
gonna
seen
get
that
too
until
fucking
today.
soft.
But
I'm not getting
I don't
too
need
soft.
you too soft.
I'm not getting too soft.
I don't need you soft. I don't need you crying all the time.
I'll get soft to a certain point.
I don't even mean soft. That's a bad word.
It is. It is a bad.
That's a bad word.
Not the same.
You know why? Because let me tell you, that's what's wrong. Because You have been conditioned
Right.
to not be connected to your emotions.
Okay.
That's why men
Listen.
are always angry.
Hold on a second, though, because I think you start to get on a fucking slippery slope. You start to get on a fucking slippery slope.
Don't be cussing at me.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying people's be getting on slippery slopes. Because, yes, you do want, like the stereotype or the conditioning or whatever you want to call it is like men don't show their emotions. You fucking tough. You fight. You suck it up and deal with it and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
And it is great to be able to fucking to express yourself sometimes and let some of this fucking shit out.
Right.
But there's also times when you need to shut the fuck up and buckle down and fucking fight.
You know
and
what?
Get to work and like cut the shit.
Right. And does that help you, by the way?
Yes.
Feel more manly when you cuss when you're talking
It's
about
not-
your
it's not-
emotions?
I've
noticed that.
Maybe.
I know.
I don't know.
I noticed that. Like when we
Well,
start talking about
maybe
emotions,
because
you start cussing more.
Because it's one of these things that it's like being aggressive. It's not. It's almost like it's looked down upon. Like it's like you're a fucking caveman or Neanderthal or some shit. And it's like, no. This is what got us to where we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we sat around and played with our emotions the entire time instead of fucking buckling down and actually doing something, the world wouldn't be what it is.
Right.
You need both.
You do need both. And you know that.
But you also don't want to go too far in one direction. And the way everything goes in life, in history, is things go in cycles. And we've, like, just look at the history of the United States. You know, you have cycles where you go through struggle and then times are good. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men or hard men. Hard men create good times. Good times create weak men. It's a fucking cycle. That's just what it is. So there needs to be a balance. You can't just be fucking soft all the fucking time.
Right. But that's not the way society
should be.
Has.
But
No,
it is
what
the way.
I'm telling you is that in the past, it hasn't been okay at all for a man to show any emotion. And what I'm talking about is when you get that feeling, like you said, that when you had cheated, there was a feeling inside of you that was like, you're fucking everything up that you ever wanted or whatever.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
That's hard to even explain.
But that's what I'm talking about. And do you know why it's very hard to explain? Because you guys haven't, it hasn't been okay for men to express their emotions as well. Do you know? Because it's a sign of weakness.
No.
Society
No,
hasn't.
because it's something that cuts so deep into your fucking core
Oh, my booty.
that there aren't words to explain the deepness of the guilt and the shame for what you know you shouldn't be doing. There aren't words for that.
But do you know how many men have done what you've done and
I get it.
and don't know how to express that? See, you have grown so much when it comes to talking about your emotions, but it's still difficult. And I can tell because when you listen to the podcast and Miguel starts talking about emotions, you do cuss a lot.
Okay.
And that's okay. But I'm just saying it is very difficult for men to talk about their feelings when they've done something wrong or when they feel shame.
I think
or
men
they
have been
feel-
talking a lot more recently than ever before, probably.
Which is,
Dude, if you guys are listening to this podcast on YouTube, fucking look it up. There's fucking dudes talking all over the place. I'm just saying. There's fucking dudes talking about everything today. You know what I mean?
They're starting to wake up and realize.
You know what? But the truth is, at a certain point, sometimes you need to fucking stop talking and start doing.
Yeah, you have, baby. Listen, we're saying the same thing and going back and forth. All I'm saying is you need a balance.
Yeah.
Most men don't have that balance, my love.
I'm saying you don't want. It seems like sometimes people want the balance for men to be farther in one direction, and I don't think that's what.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Maybe not you.
I don't
maybe
get that.
not you, but I think maybe society sometimes. I don't think you want that because you don't want a guy that's just fucking.
No,
you don't want that.
No,
I know you don't want that, and I don't think that. I don't know about people that listen to. Most women don't want that.
Are you kidding me?
I don't think most women.
No way.
It depends on the woman. It depends on the woman.
Okay, women, we need to hear from you.
I don't know about women that listen to our show.
You know what?
I don't know if they'd be into that shit. I think if you listen to our podcast, you're not into you fucking
that is crying
some dude that you're dragging along on a fucking leash.
No, when it's time, when somebody is breaking into your house, you don't want your husband hiding behind you saying, "Get the gun, babe.
Go check
go
the door."
Get it." No, when something
fucking kicking you out of the bed.
Right, when something is going down.
Go see what that was.
Yeah. When something is going down.
I'm going to be here with Sonny.
I want a man that I know is going to freaking throw down if he has to.
That's some bullshit.
You
How
know
about
what
you
I'm
get
saying?
up and fucking throw down? How come I got to go throw down?
Babe, I'm just saying.
We're talking about equality now.
Shut up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I get it. I don't want that man. And most women don't either.
Yeah.
But when he does something that is wrong, to be able to say, you know what? I'm sorry. Like, I fucked up. Like, I love you. I know I got some shit I need to work on. And we're going to work on this. Just to be able to say that. And be able to express themselves. That's all it is.
Look, the way I look at it, like if you, I mean, I've listened to a lot of things. I've read a lot of things about humans, history, all kinds of shit. Not that I'm fucking smart or anything. Like fucking humans history, like I'm fucking super smart guy over here. But no, I've listened to a couple things, and like when you look at like humans haven't really changed a lot in the last however thousands of years, right? Mm-hmm. But society and people and communities and how fucking people work together have changed really fast. I mean, if you just look at social media in the last, 10 years? What was social media, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, all that shit like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This shit has changed so fast that biologically, humans haven't changed that quickly. So if you look at when we were, I mean, even if you think about Jesus times, that was 2,000 years ago? Not that long ago in the history of the earth and the history of humans, because humans have been around longer than that. So if you think about back before that, when we were in fucking caves and that kind of shit, who was handling disputes back then? Like if you have a family, a fucking cave family, and there's a dispute with another fucking cave family, who's meeting in the middle to throw down? Because how do you settle disputes back then if you can't really talk, if all you have, and you know, that's what.
Are you really taking the podcast there right now?
I'm just saying, since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Who's going to settle the disputes? Are you going out there and battling this dude's wife, or am I going to go fight this guy for my family? Right? Mm-hmm. So maybe, since humans haven't changed that much, but society has changed that much in the last, I don't know how many years, maybe some of that shit's left over. And fucking guys are still, like, I need to fucking fight. And they need to be more aggressive, but everybody wants to fucking tone them down. Like, dude, it hasn't been that long. We need to ease into it like everything else. But there's a reason for this stuff. It's not like it's all bad.
I'm not saying it's all bad.
I'm not saying that you're saying it's all bad. I'm saying, but a lot of times society is looking at it like it's, it's like you're fucking a savage.
Well, when you think about, I don't know, I think back to when, we weren't doing so hot. We were living, like 10
humans?
years ago. Like 10 years ago.
Oh, me and
you
you.
and I.
Okay.
And, we had, all the kids. We had 5 kids.
Yeah.
And I wasn't working. I was staying at home. And a lot of, the responsibility was on your shoulders. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing some Legal Shield but very little.
Yeah.
How did that feel? You don't have to answer that.
I can.
But a lot of men, they have a lot of stress. They have a lot going on.
You know how you feel? Probably like the fucking caveman.
And
where you need to protect and provide for your family.
And a lot of times us women, we don't see it because we're so stressed about what's going on in the home that we don't have that compassion for our men. We don't realize everything that they're carrying.
Yeah.
We're so focused on, why isn't he paying attention to me? Why does he have to drink every time he gets home? Why is he so angry all the time?
That's a common one for a lot of people.
And if he would only express to her in a loving manner or in a manner, just saying, hey, like, I'm sorry we haven't been intimate for the last 3 weeks or whatever. Or sorry, blah, 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 blah. It might help her to see what's going on within him, because we're not mind readers either. And vice versa.
And even
women having compassion. Because if we knew it took me to step back years later, realizing what you were going through until you told me. You told me years later, about how you felt, what you were going through. I had no idea. I would have had more compassion.
Yeah.
If I knew what you were going through, and you would have had more, instead of being an asshole with me, if I would have came and talked to you and said, I've been with the kids all day. I've been doing this and this and that. We had a bad day. I had to take the kids to the counseling, and I had this and this and that. Baby, can you do me a favor? And can you just watch the kids for a little bit? Instead, I would bark at you and say, hey, get off the game. I need some. Do you understand, though? It's the miscommunication.
I understand, but there's also different personalities. Not everybody's like, hey, babe, this and this and that. Would you like to?
You don't have to talk like that. But
what I'm saying, not everybody wants to fucking do that. People are different. Not everybody does that.
But that's the answer, is communicating and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what helped us.
It is.
If we did not make that change, we would not be where we are today.
Yeah.
Even today, having to have that hard conversation with you. Who in the...
Yeah. I'm not saying that expressing your emotions is like not a good thing. It is a good thing. To a certain, like, not to a certain point. Expressing your emotions is fine. But wanting to change how men are, like,
Nobody wants to change them.
I'm not saying you.
I don't think
But
other
a lot of
women,
people feel like maybe men are too aggressive. Have you ever heard of toxic masculinity?
No.
Yeah, well, maybe I've been paying attention to some shit that a lot of other people are paying attention to. But
Well, I think that you looked those up. You looked that up a lot
No, I
because
don't look it
maybe
up a
I've
lot.
talked to you about being impatient or
No.
being temperamental. Maybe
No,
that's why.
Well, you've talked about it, but I also hear about it from other things that I hear.
Joe Rogan?
In mainstream. No, not Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Like just all over the fucking place. All over. It's all over. Yeah. No, you just gotta watch the news and watch everything that's happening in the world.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Everything that's happening in the world.
Yeah, I don't.
Everything.
I'm unplugged from that.
Okay. Well, but yes, it is a thing. But all I'm saying is that male traits are not a bad thing.
No.
The aggressiveness, because that's one of the things. Being aggressive is negative. No, it's fucking not.
I don't think it. Yeah.
Getting angry is not good. Yeah, that's not fucking true either. There's a reason. There's a reason for fucking everything. There's a reason for depression. There's a reason to be angry. There's a reason for sadness. There's a reason for being happy. There's a reason for everything. So it's not like, oh, so-and-so's angry. That's not good. You can't do that.
Right.
No. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you.
And people are different. We have different roles as however you want to see it, male and female, mother and father. We play different roles in our kids' lives, in each other's lives. It's just different. It's not all the same. And you don't want everything to be the same.
Right. I think we're talking about two different things, though, because I'm not talking about it not being okay for a man to be aggressive. I just told you, if somebody's breaking into the house, I need a man that I know is going to
be aggressive and go get the fucking door.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain ways to express, what you're going through. But a lot of times,
but what I'm saying is that we weren't built
angry,
the same. We were built for different things. Right?
Right.
If we haven't changed that much over time, and we were built to like go hunt, defend, bring food back, and you guys were taking care of kids and in the community with the tribe and going and hunting and doing, or not, maybe not hunting, but gathering other stuff or whatever. But there was specific, like we had job, and it wasn't like one job was more important than the other job. It wasn't. Maybe one person was stronger physically than the other, but we all had shit to do together. But it's not like, well, you need to go and fucking hunt. And you need to go and do this other shit. No, we're different. We have different roles. You can't expect everybody to be the fucking same. A cat is a cat. A fucking dog is a dog. They're not the same. They have different qualities, different purposes. And that's how male and females are. Father and mothers are. The kids will not get fathership shit that they need to get from you. They will not. They're going to get that shit from me. And if they were with me by themselves, they wouldn't get the mothership stuff that they need from you. That's how it is. You need both. But to try to turn one into the other, or be like, well, men need to be just as sensitive and as women and emotional, explaining and expressing everything, I don't know if that's always true. There's a reason for things.
Right. But that's not what I'm talking about. You're talking about something totally different. I'm talking about relationship, communicating.
I understand, but I'm talking about why things are the way they are sometimes.
Right.
And like not having to like try to make everybody like everybody else. Just because everybody else expresses, like, you want to express yourself and put it, like, yeah, that's great. But we're not all the same. You know?
Nope, we were all made different.
And that's okay.
There's nobody else like you.
And there's nobody else like you.
Your
that's why we work
your
weights.
fingerprints We're specifically made for you.
Right. And with that, make sure you guys go to Opposites Attract Pod. Where the hell did the podcast go?
I don't know. You fucking took it there.
What are you talking about? You keep fucking trying to get me to like cry and shit. And
no, I'm not trying to get you to cry.
Dude, okay, listen, finally, I'll fucking let
You're fighting everything that I'm proving.
Fighting.
Hold on.
I'm fighting what?
So
I guess the podcast isn't over.
As you've been watching, I'm sure, you've noticed that Miguel expresses his feelings more. That's all I'm saying.
More?
Yeah, more.
More what?
We've been recording.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You're more in tune with your feelings and expressing them. You may cuss a whole lot when you do.
That's fine.
But you do.
I also have a weekly podcast
and
that I
that's
record.
what I'm talking about, is that it is okay for a man to express himself outside of, being angry all the time or temperamental all the time. It's okay to say, you know what, wife?
Is it okay?
What you just said hurt my feelings.
Is it okay for a man not to want to express himself and just fucking keep his feelings to himself?
No.
That's not okay?
He will explode. He will drink. He will go out. He will find a way to release those feelings that are not healthy. Why do men cheat?
No,
Why do men drink?
That's not,
Why do men do?
What if he has his own way of working through his feelings? That doesn't have to do with expressing them to everybody in the fucking world.
You don't have to express them to all the people in the fucking world, but if you can express them to your wife, you'll have a better relationship.
What if you can deal with them and see the truth within whatever it is that you're feeling within yourself?
How has that worked for you?
It's worked fine. I don't know. Like,
has it?
Are you enlightened? Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, I am enlightened. And the more I am working on myself, I'm becoming enlightened. But I have helped you to reach that point.
Yeah, you have.
That's all I'm saying.
So what makes you think that somebody can't just work on something on their own?
Oh, like self-process and heal? Oh, they can do that.
So why are you saying that I have to like express it to my wife
like
or whatever?
No, I'm saying
if I'm going through something, I don't need to express. Like I
thought this podcast was over.
Process it. Yeah, I thought so too. But then you keep.
Well, what I'm saying is that if we're having a disagreement or we're talking about something, communication is the key to a healthy relationship.
I'm not talking about you. You're talking about
There's a hair on my. But that's all I'm saying. That's all this is about.
And with that, make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you guys go there, you can watch the podcast there. You can listen to it there. And
subscribe,
you can follow all of our social media.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep. Don't forget to share it. Leave a comment. Call us. We're all over Facebook, so you can leave questions there as well.
Instagram, TikTok, all of that. We're everywhere.
All that good stuff. So thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast.
Where we get better
together. Bye.